Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Social English Podcast. This is the wrap up. This is the IIWC in action. Okay, this is the pattern. We're going to put it all together today, give you some examples. You're going to listen to what this sounds like in real conversations, and I guarantee today you are going to enjoy this English episode of our great little podcast here, the Social English Podcast, best English podcast on the internet. So, without any further ado, let's get to it.
今日のエピソードでは、英語圏である西欧諸国における特定の社会的状況についての重要なソーシャルイングリッシュのヒントをお教えします。アメリカ、カナダ、イギリス、その他の英語圏の国で実際に使えるように英会話のスキルアップに焦点を当てた社会的状況に関する大事なヒントを聞きながら学んでいきます。
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Social English Podcast. If you are a new listener, welcome to your new home for English, the Social English Podcast, the best English podcast on the internet. Now, if you are a returning listener, salute. Welcome back to your home. Okay, remember here, our goal here at Social English is to help you get better at real speaking, conversational English, talking, speaking to native English, real English speakers, okay? That's our goal, is to help you get better at that every single day, just a little bit, okay? Just a little every day. Just keep trying, keep practicing, keep getting better every day. I promise you, 1 year from now, you will be surprised at how much you know. Just continue listening to us and practicing. Okay, so today, what are we talking about on today's episode? Today, this is the last part of our series on the importance of the conversational basics and understanding patterns. The first one that I'm going to teach you is the IIWC pattern. So this is the end. If you did not get a chance and you missed it, listen to the last 4 episodes where you will learn, actually 5 episodes. Listen to the last 5 episodes. The introduction, or the introduction of the topic. What is the IWC? That's the first one. Listen to the I. They talk about the icebreaker. The second one, we talk about your introduction. The third, we talk about W, why, or a person's why. And then the C, we talk about continuance. What happens with the conversation next? That is what happens. That's the IWC pattern. Now, I just didn't want to talk about it and explain it to you. I really want to dig deep. I really want you to really understand. So I found some examples for you, and I want you to really listen to these examples of the IIWC pattern. Okay? So, once again, this series is for intermediate and advanced Japanese people who are learning English, or any English learners. You don't have to be from Japan. Welcome to the podcast. But you have to have a medium to advanced level of English to understand what I am saying, to understand the conversation. This is not about writing English, how to write a sentence. This is how to understand a social interaction and conversation and what is happening in real life. Okay? Not just about idioms, not just about sayings, not just about words. We're going to talk about a real conversation. So, let's do that. Let's talk about that. Let's give you a background. Okay, let me go back. Just to give you a quick review. Most English-speaking countries in the West, we have a pattern. I'm from the United States, America, California, and this is for all conversations. Here at Social English, we want to help you understand the patterns of conversation. The reason is to help you understand where conversations are starting and what the person who speaks to you is trying to achieve or their goal. I'm going to give you a structure that you can use to learn this pattern. You can use it by listening to other people in conversations and see if you can hear the parts of the basic conversation pattern. I want you to understand this pattern so that you can get more comfortable with speaking English to other people. When you understand the pattern, you will understand how Western English speakers or native English speakers create conversations. So what is this conversational pattern? I call it the IIWC pattern. Remember, the IIWC pattern is only used for meeting people for the first time. So you will not see this pattern if you're going to go shopping or you're buying something. Okay, so you're meeting someone for the first time and you can have a conversation with them. It's not for buying something or going to the store or something like that. It's not for shopping or even work if you get a job. It's not for working at your job. This type of pattern is for developing conversation. Okay, and it's really a social. That's what makes it different, and that's why we're social English. It's not business English conversation. It's not a how to shop English conversation. This is a social interaction, a social English conversation. Okay, so let's talk about it. Today, you're going to listen to some examples of the IIWC pattern in conversations from some American movies. Okay? I chose these conversations so you can hear the IIWC pattern clearly, and these are still realistic. They're realistic conversations. So even though it's a movie, I chose them because they are what a real conversation would sound like. Okay, so let's listen to 3 examples. Now, some examples, it will be very easy to hear the IIWC. Other examples, you will not hear the C, or you won't hear the I, or you might hear the W in a different place, the Y. It's interesting, and it's a good practice for you to listen to now that I can explain to you this pattern. Okay, so first, in example number 1, a man is meeting his new neighbor. Listen for the IIWC pattern.
Hi, I hope I'm not bothering you. I'm Sylvia, number 15 right down the hall. I just wanted to welcome you to our little family here. I don't know if you have a girlfriend or anything, but even if you do, I know that bachelors never have any food in their refrigerator. So I just wanted to offer you a little something I made. It's a specialty of mine. Curried spam casserole.
Well, thank you.
Well.
Okay, so the man's neighbor, Sylvia, she gave her I introduction when she said hi. That was the I part of the IIWC. She followed that by I'm Sylvia. That's her introduction, her I. So her icebreaker was hi. Her introduction was I'm Sylvia. And then she gave her Y, her W, right after that. Her W was I live right down the hall. When she offers him the food, the casserole, she's actually going into the continuance or the C part of IIWC, because she's going to ask him, or when she gives that to him, it's an acceptance of, okay, he's saying, thank you. So that thank you, when he says that, it's giving her, because they're still in the conversation, the bridge to go to the next topic of conversation. So in this conversation, there's an IIWC pattern when she, and the C is her talking about the casserole. It's a little bit different, but she's giving the casserole as to saying this is what I'm doing. I'm giving you this. Do you want to accept this from me or not? And since when he takes the casserole and he says thank you, he's ending that part of the conversation, and the IWC part, the beginning, is over, and now she can move to another topic, which she starts to do. Okay, so now let's look at another example of the pattern. And in example number 2, what we're going to do is we're going to listen to a woman who is at a party. She's at a party and she is trying to meet new people. Listen closely, okay? Because this one is a little bit more difficult, but the same pattern is there with the IIWC. Please listen.
Excuse me, can I sit there?
Yeah, we accept all people. We're all about the love. Come on and have a seat.
Thank you so much.
How are you tonight?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm feeling good. I feel real good. You know, we have a special cake for you.
Okay, so in this particular example, she used the IIWC pattern, but really quickly with short words. So let's talk about that. When she says, excuse me, that is the icebreaker. That's the I. Excuse me, the icebreaker, I. Okay? And she says, can I sit here? That's the reason. That's actually the W, the Y. So she goes I icebreaker, then she goes W Y. Can I sit here? Okay? So she goes into those two. Let's listen to this one more time so you can hear it again, and then I'll explain the rest. I'll explain to you where she introduces the I. She does her I and her C. Her I, her C. Let's listen to it one more time.
Excuse me, can I sit there?
Yeah, we accept all people. We're all about the love. Come on and have a seat.
Thank you so much.
How are you tonight?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm feeling good. I feel real good. You know, we have a special cake for you.
So, when the guy asks her, how are you? And she responds, I'm very well. Thank you. How are you? Now she went through to from the she went to an icebreaker, a Y, and then she went straight to a continuance. Because he asked the question, how are you? And she said, I'm fine, thank you. And basically, how are you? So basically, when she, instead of ending, this is the opportunity. She's opening up the conversation for him to go to a different topic, or continue to ask about herself. How are you? I'm fine. Oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from da-da-da. Oh, do you know anyone at this party? Oh, yeah, I know Susie or John. Oh, really? I know John. So it opens up this conversation, but he actually changes it. So you can go on that route where you continue to talk about the same conversation, but he decides to go a different direction, and he starts to, he asks her something to make it a comedy, a funny joke. So that is the second. She used the icebreaker. She used a why. Can I sit here? It's basically, can I be? It's why. Why am I here? To ask you for permission. Why am I talking to you? To ask you if I can sit next to you. That is the why. Why am I talking? Not why. Why do you see me? Why do you see me? No, this isn't what why means in the IIWC pattern. The IIWC pattern is about conversation, real English conversations. So the why means, why am I talking to you? Why are you talking to me? So that both people understand the why behind the conversation. Okay, so now let's look at another example. Example 3. Let me talk about example 3. So in example 3, there is a woman who is at a job center, or an employment center, maybe for more advanced people, but just a place to get a job. And at this center, she wants to get a license for a type of job that she wants to do. Okay, so listen for the IIWC pattern in this one as well, and see if you can hear what I, W, and C's that she uses and what she does not use. Okay, please listen. Kite kudasai.
Hey, what are you here for? Well, I mean, what license you getting? Mine's trucking.
Hey, me too.
Hey, me too! Hey! Yeah! All right!
Trucking.
Okay, this is a very a very funny one, an interesting one. But the IIWC pattern is here as well. So first, the man, the guy, he asks, he says, hey, or he says, hey. Okay, that is his icebreaker. That's the icebreaker in the conversation. Then he asks, what are you here for? What license are you trying to get? So when he asks, what are you here for? She replies, huh? Like what? Huh? So this means she doesn't understand maybe the why part of the conversation yet. So then he adds more. I'm getting a license in trucking. What license are you here to get? My license is in trucking. I'm getting a license in trucking. I want to get a license for trucking, for that job, to be a truck driver. So he uses, he doesn't. So then when she responds, hey, trucking, or something like that. So basically she's saying, yes, we're all together. I'm a trucker too. I'm trying to get a trucking license too. And she's kind of bridging into the continuance. This is the C. Her continuance is, hey, trucking. It's a strange sounding continuance, but it's still a continuance. Okay. After that continuance in the conversation, after she says that, if he can, the next thing, he would put an introduction. He would say, I'm so-and-so. Okay. Or this is the end. Maybe at this point, hey, trucking, yay, and then that's the end of the conversation. But if you were in this real conversation, okay, realistically, it would not end here. It would need to have the introduction, because if not, it sounds strange. He would need to say, yeah, hi, I'm Bill, or I'm Joe. I've been trucking for a while. How about you? Is this your first trucking license? This is my, second, or something like that. So he would have to put more context if he wants to have proper conversation as to saying, who am I, introducing himself in this way. So, but in this particular clip, it's from a movie. The woman gets distracted by something else, and that's not part of what we're studying or we're talking about today. So that's it. So listen to that one more time and try to understand. He used a IWC. It was an IWC pattern with the introduction I was to come later. But that's it for that particular third example.
このショーを気に入っていただけたら、5つ星のレビューをぜひお願いします。コメントは英語か日本語でお書きいただければ喜んで読ませていただきます。リアルソーシャルイングリッシュ .com にアクセスしてぜひ無料でダウンロードしてください。ほとんどの日本人の英語を勉強している人がやってしまいがちな7つの間違いとその正しい言い方。また、毎日英語を上達させるのに役立つ資料もたくさんあります。Apple Podcast、Google Podcast、Stitcher、そして今はパンドラでもポッドキャストを購読いただきます。支援者になっていただけませんか？私たちがこのショーを作るための支援として5ドルの寄付をお願いできませんか？今後のエピソードで感謝の気持ちをお伝えします。また、そこでしか利用できない新しいコンテンツも入手できます。patreon.com/socialenglish からご参加ください。ソーシャルメディアで私たちのポッドキャストを友達にシェアしたり、Twitter、Facebook、Instagram のフォローをお願いします。
So that's going to do it for today's episode. That is it. That is the final episode in this series. And those are some examples of the IIWC pattern. Don't forget, I go through this pattern by each letter and give you examples in the previous episodes so you can fully understand and practice how to use this pattern. Also, remember, in some conversations, the order is different. It's not always IIWC in that order, but the key is to understand and hear these particular parts, okay? And usually in normal conversations, all 4 parts are still used, and it's very helpful for conversational English learners to study them. Okay, so that's it for today's episode. What I want you to do today for today's action item, I want you to listen to 2 examples. I want you to listen to example 2 and example 3, and I want you to make sentences using the full IIWC pattern. I will see you in the next episode. Peace and love.
今日は楽しい時間をありがとうございました。ぜひ私たちのウェブサイト realsocialenglish.com を訪問して日本語訳と役立つ情報を手に入れてください。また次回お会いしましょう。バイバイ。See you next time. Bye bye.